Why? Okay, true Iman requires, it's a requirement to use your mouth, make an utterance of what is wrong. Okay, at least an utterance. Then Allah will hold you innocent if you said something is wrong and told the perpetrator. Okay, you're going and drinking a drink that says non-alcoholic beer, but it has 0.01% alcohol. It's haram. Why? What's the rule? There we have a ruling. If Allah will make it haram, a dot is haram, a drop is haram. So people are drinking this non-alcoholic beer, but it does have 0.01% alcohol, right? We tell you it's haram. And this is not like some kind of medicine you can go get a fatwa. Even those fatwas are invalid, unless there's no other medicine and you would die, okay? That you would literally die if you don't have this medicine, there's no other medicine. It's the only valid excuse you have. But someone, I need to sleep, so I'm taking a night thing that has alcohol in it. It's wrong. Okay? So it can make you drunk. You can't just say, okay, I'm not doing it, but I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to rock the boat. Why? You should say something. Why? Because whatever anger of Allah comes upon that person, okay, it's going to reach you. Why is it going to reach you? It's a ship. That action right there becomes a ship. It becomes a ship. And you did not get off the ship. You didn't partake in it, but you didn't get off the ship. Get off the ship by verbally disapproving. And if you are the owner of a household, and this is your house, and you bought it, and it's in your name, and you pay the bills, and it happened under your roof, speaking is not sufficient. Action is required. Again, this is your house, you own it, you pay the rent, you pay the bills, you control the lock in the house, and your 17-year-old son comes drinking something like that, you don't say, oh my son. You don't go and do like, okay, oh my beloved son. No. Okay, you verbalize it once. And in the same setting, you don't say, okay, next week, if he does it again next week. No, in the same setting, you ask him politely, this is haram, please dispose of these drinks. In the same setting, okay, you are obligated to physically take it and remove it. You may do this in a gentle manner, right? You don't have to make a drastic thing if you don't want to. You can if you think it's going to have an effect. But this just to show us our Sharia responsibility. Someone has a bad movie in the house, on a DVD or on a computer. You're the hakim of that little house, okay? So that little home that you run, you control the locks and you pay the bills and you own the home, you must shut that movie down, okay? Yep. Yeah.
You can't, if somebody comes up there, you can't make any comments and things which I don't think that, what you did was right, or if somebody
okay.
eating something, you don't even, in your own home, I think you have to control it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like you're almost breaking a relationship with somebody by telling them what you're engaging in is not.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I'll tell you what it is. And I'll tell you what will get a person to very easily speak. People don't speak because they perceive a harm. The problem is they don't perceive the long-term harm. That is from the divine. You can't control it. Allah will bring it down. If a haram happens and we don't say something, okay, at that point, it is Allah's will, okay? This is a divine rule, like chemistry, like gravity. That harm that you do not speak of, okay, Allah will allow it to seep into your own home, if not your own self. Why? Because you have not spoken about it. That means you didn't get off the ship. That means when that ship sinks, you will sink with it. That means you did not close your door. So when that poison is flowing and that fire is kindling over there, okay, you're speaking about it, shuts your door and puts water in front of my door. I spoke about it. The cost of that, they'll be upset. Now, I don't want to make anyone upset. I don't want trouble. Everyone wants that, no trouble. However, when I think, and I know for sure, certainty, as certain as Allah exists, certainty, this is Allah's rule. If I do not speak of that wrong, that fire will slowly trickle. And after 20 years, it's going to end up in my own living room. Allah gave me the chance to shut the door and put water there. The fire will have a limit. Allah will limit it. I'll give you an example. I'll give you a very good example. Okay? There was tribulation in a country, political issue in a country. Okay? A party of those people spoke out against the ruler of that country. This is living today. I've met these people. Living with these people. Spoke out against the ruler. They got exiled. And everyone said, look, they spoke and now they're living thrown in some bizarre odd country as strangers. 10 years later, almost a lifetime, 10 years later, that country became pitted in a civil war. And nobody in that country lives a stable life anymore. But who lives a stable life? The people who spoke out and paid the price and were kicked out. They're now sitting enjoying children and grandchildren and food and sleep and power and electricity and security and safety. Whereas those who did not speak, and the country is Syria, the land is Syria. There were people that I met spoke out against Hafiz al-Assad. What you're doing is wrong. The way you're leading this country is wrong. And they paid a price, that they were put under, hunted down until they had to flee to empty countries like Abu Dhabi, Qatar, and just, what are you sitting in? Air conditioned, no friends, no people, just alone. In air conditioned, he eats every day, he drinks comfortably every day, he sleeps. That's all he does. But 10 years later, the very people who said to him, just be quiet and live. That's what they told him, just be quiet and live. We're all living. Just accept it and live. And when he spoke out, he said, no, this is wrong. When he spoke out and got sent to Qatar, they told him, if you had just shut your mouth, look at us, we're living, and look at you, far from your family and your friends. Now, 10 years later, who's living? Are they living peacefully? They're not. They don't enjoy their money, they don't enjoy their family, they don't enjoy food, they don't enjoy weddings, and he's free. So now make a comparison. And Allah gave him basira, this man who I met in Qatar. What did he say? He said, by Allah Azza wa Jal, this is a victory for everyone who spoke out. A victory and a proof that you must, if you don't speak, the fire will enter your own home. It will enter your own home. And he says, now I'm in Na'im. I'm in heaven compared to them. And we haven't even died yet. I'm in heaven compared to those people on earth. He's living safely. The compound is safe. The whole land is safe. Now, this is physical. This is physical. But do we live only for the body? No. So when some haram happens, someone went on a wrong belief, someone goes on wrong action, if I approve of this, someone's watching my approval. These little creatures, you have little children, they don't understand anything. But they see mom and dad visiting every day with these people. They never say anything. Therefore what? No matter what they say, I know they won't cut me off if I do that, because they didn't cut them off. It would have been much easier for them to cut them off, or at least say something about that. They never said anything. They never acted. So kids make an instinctive analogy. Well, he approves of that, and I'm his son. He should approve of me. And the thing is, don't ever say, yeah, it's not going to happen in my family. Because Nuh alayhi salam, his wife, didn't believe. Lut, his wife, didn't believe. The wife, not the kids who have their own independent will, the wife who willingly joined him in life. How about the kid who's not, he didn't ask to be your child. Allah brought him, he has a separate will of his own. Okay? And it's a guarantee. This is why Allah Azza wa Jalla says in the Quran, وَاتَّقُوا فِتْنَةً لَا تُصِيبَنَّ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا مِنْكُمْ خَاصَّةً. Beware of the wrong. It will not solely affect the one who did the wrong. It will affect everyone else. Okay? So I didn't start drinking or start removing my hijab. So I didn't do that. But it's going to affect you. Because if you're seen approving of this, never saying anything, okay? And we're not saying cut people off. You might not have to cut people off. You might say, okay, my children are mature, they'll understand. But you better say something. You better say, look, we're going to this house. All right, don't think I approve of that behavior, okay? I don't approve of that. And you have to understand, sometimes nuance doesn't work with kids. They won't understand nuance, okay? They understand blacks and whites, all right? So, but even as whatever method you can, if you're forced, use your tongue. I'm forced to be in the same room as you. I better use my tongue. Say, look, we're going to visit this family. Those kids, they use foul language. You're not using that language. Don't come and start copying this stuff, okay? You gotta speak, or else that fire will come right into your own living room, if not into your own house, into your own heart, I mean, and you might do the same. Was there someone, I saw a hand go up again? Oh, okay, so, yeah, fine, sure.
So, do we need to point the person doing it, or is it sufficient to talk about the action itself as being wrong?
We should give advice to the person, and it could be that it suffices to talk about the action itself.
But,
Yeah.
but advise the person also.
Yeah, you should give the person advice, and look at the people of Musa alayhi salam. All of them had to undergo what's about to happen. Look at how they were punished. Look at how they were punished.